So this is Solange. I worked with her in the studio today. She has never done improvisation before. So I wanted to break her in gently. I told her that even the gestures that she does without even thinking about them can be dance. So I asked her to stand in the middle of the studio and close her eyes and imagine what she's seeing, if she's seeing the studio space, and to just talk about what she's seeing in her imagination. So she had to picture the windows, the doors, the color of the walls, and she started to gesture about that space. You can see that at some point she steps forward, steps to the side as she gestures, so she's already starting to move just by thinking about what she sees in her imagination. I told her to choose 3 gestures from the video that I played back of her talking about the space. 3 gestures that she found were interesting, and to record them in her body. And from there, the next thing we did was to make those gestures move about the space. So she then practiced that, and that's the next thing that we recorded from this exercise. This is Solange just performing those gestures. She ended up choosing more than 3 gestures, which I like the enthusiasm. So she just started to allow them to move about the space. And that's how we built a movement phrase. Then I asked her to just make them a little bigger, so stepping out of her kinesphere and allowing the movements to start to resemble more of a dance. We then took a little break, and I asked her to lie on the floor and just close her eyes and imagine herself in a place in her memory that I had asked her earlier in the week to come up with a space that she can vividly describe. So as she lay on the floor with her eyes closed in the studio, she imagined herself on the floor of her kitchen of her aunt's place. And she told me what she saw from that perspective, and that I just placed her in the space. Then I asked her to stand up and move about that space and just interact with her surroundings, just for her to get familiar with that place. So there was one particular moment that I found intriguing. It was when she was playing with the bead curtain that was in the kitchen. I found that she did interesting gestures at that moment. So what we did was we added that little piece of movement to the first gesture phrase that we came up with earlier. So we just attached it to the beginning, moving out of her kinesphere. And that's how we came up with the final phrase for today.